Hello and welcome back to part 34 of Dishonored. In the last part, we had to unfortunately take out Granny Rags, and in this part, we're taking out this motherfucker.
Wait, you killed Granny Rags just to kill Slackjaw yourself?
Want to know something funny?
Well, I mean, by taking out, I mean
When we were
taking
kids,
out to
we were
freedom.
scared of Granny Rags. Thought she was a terrible witch. Then we grew up and figured she was just a sad old lady. We were right the first time. Now ain't that funny?
No.
No, it's not,
I owe you.
you're not laughing.
This won't even
It's not very funny if you're not laughing.
left. Luck to you, Corvo.
So he gave me
And
money.
he gave us, what, 500 bucks?
He gave us like between 300 and 500 bucks. I'm sure Granny Rags would have had some kind of unique reward. You wouldn't have had to fight her. You wouldn't have to exhaust resource and all that crap. Here's a fucking weird recipe for pudding.
I'm still disappointed that you decided to kill Granny Rags instead of Slackjaw.
Which is your first inclination in a game that gives you moral choices? Do you like being the good guy, or do you like being the asshole fucking shit up?
Oh, I prefer being the good guy, certainly, but here's the thing. Granny Rags is very clearly a competent spellcaster, and we could use that kind of assistance right now.
Yeah, there is a reward. I wish I could play through the game a second time in order to figure it out, but I will probably not do that.
Find your way into such interesting places, Corvo. At the eye of the storm, raging between Granny Rags and this man who has lived his whole life with a cleaver in one hand and a bottle in
He was just an alcoholic butcher, too.
Come on, nobody really deserves to die. Just people who betray other people.
How does it feel now, knowing your allies betrayed you? Strange how there's always a little more innocence left to lose.
He looks like he has devil horns.
And Dowd, you just killed the greatest assassin of the age. Did you do it for love of the Empress or Emily? Or was it the primal desire to rise above other men?
Neither of those things.
The second one.
We did it for vengeance.
Do you even know why?
Well, vengeance is the satisfaction of a personal desire, so that would fall under the second category. Okay.
You got a rune, so you're looking to see what you can upgrade.
I am already too powerful. I think I just improved my agility. That seems, because of all the things that I'm able to do. I don't want Shadow Kill, I don't want Bloodthirsty, I don't want Devouring Sword, because those are lethal tactics. I want non-lethal tactics, especially running away, leaving a trail of urine behind.
Loot everything for
Loot
monies.
Granny Rags shan't be needing these. She is dead. Stupid
Alright,
boards.
back into the sewers we go.
This is a little less fun than Ratchet and Clank sliding down the sewer.
It's significantly less fun than TMNT sliding through the sewer because they get to do it on hoverboards built by Donnie.
Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael. I can't remember the fourth one because there's always one I forget. Leonardo. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sliding down sewer pipes and stuff.
That's actually from the 90s cartoon, and I actually really like the 90s cartoon because it transitioned into the 2000s cartoon, which was about them time traveling.
Okay, so this is science fiction and magic, or is it just science fiction?
There's very little magic in the TMNT universe. I mean, the only significant source of magic that I can recall is Aurora herself, and that's because she was trained. And that's because she was trained by a sorcerer.
Or what? Or are each of the four Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like frog princes?
No, they are genetically modified mutants.
Yes, mutants. The X-Men.
I mean, mostly. Although Wolverine would kill most of them in a single hit because, you know, adamantium claws pierce turtle shell and skin.
How about barnacles?
It pierces barnacles pretty nicely too. Although I don't think he would want to have barnacles coat his claws, because then those claws end up going back into his body, and then he gets a seaborne infection, and he does not like having seaborne infections.
He's got to go to the doctor. He's got to take some fungicide or whatever for 3 weeks.
He doesn't have to go to the doctor
twice a day
for it, because, you know, his because of his mutant power is actually the is immortality due to near unstoppable healing factor.
And an insatiable desire to rend human flesh. Yay. We did it.
Still low overall chaos though.
Oh, this is the whole part of the flooded district. All right, nice. We did it. This has probably been one of the longest levels in the game we've gone so far. There were a lot of different areas. You got to get your weapons back, which is never fun in any video game ever. They need to stop doing that because it's a stupid trope.
I noticed that you haven't gone out of your way for any of the Sokolov paintings.
The Sokolov paintings?
Yeah, it was a collectible in this area that I didn't recognize.
Let's see. Well, probably a gamer achievement attached to it. Probably money. There is still a use for money. We are back in the place where money has power. The Hound Pits pub.
Please, no. Oh, it's you, Corvo. Thank the stars. We all thought you'd been killed.
You know, by Sammy.
Except for Samuel. He seemed sure you'd survive.
Because he's the one that tried to kill us.
I saw him on the river shortly before the killing began. He was smart enough not to come ashore. But I'll bet he's still out there. Looking for you, is my guess. At first, Pendleton said it was time for a bonus. Havelock stood behind them, and at the signal, he shot them each in the back of the head. Just like the target drills he used to. Lydia barely had time to scream. I would be dead too. Except Wallace told me I wouldn't be getting anything. Pendleton kept apologizing, saying that no one could ever know about the things they'd done. Martin was drinking and seemed sad. The Admiral was about to shoot Callista. Then he mumbled something about owing her uncle, Captain Kurnow, a debt. They said it was time for Sokolov, and went off to his cage. I don't know what happened after that.
Thank you, Cecilia. That was very useful exposition for what is going to be a rather interesting level of the game.
Poor child. I hope she hit her eyes. The Admiral said that Martin was right. I guess they talked about it. And they started to worry they'd get executed for all that they'd done, going after the Lord Regent and his allies. I suppose it's why they've poisoned you too.
Wait, how does she know that we got poisoned?
I thought Lydia would squeal on me.
Well, I disappeared after falling unconscious because I wasn't just a little too tired after, you know, murdering the Lord Regent. Maybe Samuel mentions? No, that's right, because she doesn't know. Frickin' a liar. So she doesn't know that Samuel only gave me half the poison. She was only going by the impression she had by observing Samuel's behavior. So.
I can hide here for as long as it takes.
Yep.
Seems that no one is safe when a man is that close to a prize like the throne.
I'm trying at this point.
Yeah, Cecilia, you stay in the pub.
I'm letting her say the things that she says based on the things that she knows, not really questioning how it is she knows these things in the first place. I mean, somebody has to fill in the gaps. I'm not just going to find a piece of paper on the ground and says, "Here, Corvo, here's a log of everything that happened in the Hound Pits pub since you've been gone." Tall boys.
Why are they having a tall boy patrol these streets? This is officially their territory now. They shouldn't need any more security here.
The Loyalists. Well, they're here to tie up loose ends.
They already tied their loose ends, though. They killed everyone except Cecilia, and they can't be looking for Cecilia. She doesn't know enough.
Cecilia is still alive because we know that because we just met her. Callista is still alive. Samuel is still alive. You see, they do have some people to watch out for.
Well, they know that Samuel's not going to be here. He's going to be out in the bay. That's because he's safe out there. So all they have to do is send a boat, and then they can machine gun him down.
Vigilance. Havelock is not actually here. This is bullshit. Captain Manning, we've tracked the conspiracy to the Hound Pits pub, searched the premises for the natural philosophers Pierre Joplin and Anton Sokolov. Do what you must to secure all materials related to the enhanced arc pylon they've been constructing. Signed, Lord Regent Havelock.
See? Aristocracy is evil!
Evil. Ambition. Money. Inheritance. Oh, that was a very informative
I am
note.
reminded of a Dio song.
Okay, so we make contact with Piero and Sokolov through the thing, and I couldn't read it because there was something. I had an obstruction, but we're not gonna go to King Sparrow Isle where Emily is being held just yet. We need to be the good guy for a second and make sure our friends are safe.
Well, we can't swim that long, so we can't really find Samuel. And Piero is in his office.
Yes, if only we had a boatman. Someone with a boat. Someone who's been piloting and telling stories while piloting a boat.
That's Sam, but Sam should be out in the bay.
No, I will not. No, I will not. I get it. Feed me to the hounds because it's the Hound Pits pub. There is an objective
There's
around.
Piero's workshop.
There is an objective around here somewhere. Just there are just way too many dudes. And I already blew my.
There's a bunch of tall boys patrolling. They know that Piero's in his shop, which is interesting. You would think he would set up shop somewhere else.
I believe what happened is Piero and what's his name are protecting themselves with an arc pylon.
Your expulsion from the academy was a crime against natural philosophy itself.
Which you might have pointed out at the time. But it's pointless to hold a grudge. I want to ask...
Corvo, good to see that you still
Oh, it's Piero and
breathe.
Sokolov.
This city would not be
You
the
should be
same
dead.
if you were not with us.
These guys are like freaking
I
Statler and
completed
Waldorf.
Piero's work on an arc pylon, but only just.
With this device, we can send a powerful electrical signal through the nervous system, merely rendering our enemies unconscious, or they can be reduced to ashes. I've attuned it so that we will be safe from the functions of the device. It will only trigger in the presence of our...
How did you do that?
Because they're geniuses. They can do anything.
Well, no. Here's the thing. For this to actually work, they have to have a very specific trigger, and usually it's a material object that that would actually work this way. So, what material object could the soldiers of the aristocracy lose in order to just waltz right in? I want to say it's probably their community medals.
Well, that I did not think of. Like, they could attune the arc pylon to, like, be attracted to, like, badges or medals or hats. What if the object that they are isolating for the arc pylon is a hormone or some kind of chemical that flows through the bloodstream?
I'll make what you need.
It doesn't work that way. We're not using biochemistry as a slave inducer here. So it doesn't really all the individual soldiers for the aristocracy are actually being paid and are doing this willingly. They're not being forced. So searching for a particular human hormone is just gonna get yourself killed more often. Oh, come on, buy mask optics, please.
Boot stealth.
Not boot stealth again. God damn
Boot
it.
stealth too. Maybe I do buy mask optics. I don't know. I mean, all the other ones kind of are irrelevant. Sword crossing? Stupid. They should make more
And
non-lethal.
instead you bought crossbow range.
Oh.
I mean, crossbow range is a good thing in theory, but the problem is, it's not mask optics.
And in the next part, we are...
And besides, you barely use your crossbow.
In the next part, we are going to begin clearing out the Hound Pits pub so that Statler and Wardolf can finally come down from their goddamn balcony grandstand.
Maybe.